Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
And yeah, good afternoon. And got to say good afternoon to the people, Albert.
I think he's still sleeping. He's waiting for night time.
Yeah, it's too bright for him in here.
Well, very welcome to today's webinar where we are talking about KaiBot and literacy. And we, as you know, we really try to do the cross-curricular where we focus a little bit on maths, literacy, some really wellness. We're going to look at see how happy our maybe our caterpillar is. We're going to look at one of the lessons and go through it. So thank you, Bruce. So we're going to look at my very hungry caterpillar. And firstly, I want to do a shout out actually for Alicia. She couldn't join us today, but Alicia Fevey, she actually wrote this lesson and also some of our other literacy lessons. And it's really nice to see how teachers actually add value, add when they upload lessons, or people that just really believe in our product. So really nice. I appreciate it. And thanks for my team to join, Bonnie and Karen. Awesome. I know Bonnie was coming back from the one of the conferences. So it's all go over here. So please, if you can put in the chat any questions you have, or just say hello, where you from. We obviously from New Zealand.
Yeah, coming all the way from New Zealand, 8 o'clock in the morning on the next day. So what is today?
Thursday, Bruce.
Thursday. So
you're going to struggle with my very hungry caterpillar to know when the caterpillar ate.
No, Albert's going to struggle, but he's going to do very well. And yeah, so so if we buy a lotto ticket today, you'll be able to win it tomorrow.
No, doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that. Okay.
Well, let's help because these teachers all want to, and we've got some resellers. So thank you very much for joining us. And we want to know how to use KaiBot with literacy. I thought it was just computer science. How can we bring in literacy?
I thought it was just a robot.
Okay, all right.
A cute little robot called KaiBot.
Okay, let's start and let's get going.
But yeah, before we start as well, just let us know where you're coming in from. Put it in the chat. Let's get the community going. So we really appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm just talking to camera.
Yeah, we want to make sure, are we live? Bruce, you're recording this. We're recording the session, so we will send out the link to you as well. Okay, so where do we start? We are going to do today looking at my very hungry caterpillar and how can we actually incorporate it. So it is not like we're going to code the caterpillar. We have got these lesson plans. So, lesson plan, there we go. That's one of the lesson plans. And they're available all on our website. Bruce, if you can share the website link or the page, it's just kaiseducation.com. You go onto the KaiBot page and sort of 3/4 of the way down. You can also do quotes online now, which is really good. Down. There, lesson plans. You click on learn more.
Ooh, I like that.
No, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, Bruce. Learn more. Click on it. And all the lesson plans. Oh, welcome to the join the webinar. The lesson plans will all be there that you can then go and do. There we go. And then you just click on them in age groups and they're all there.
Oh, there's the one we're doing today.
That's right. Okay, we don't need to open it. We've got it already.
Okay. Great.
Okay, so what we're going to do, how does this work? So if we look at the lesson plan, I just need to take control of the mouse for a moment.
Just 1 second.
Just going to share. Okay. So in our lesson plans, we put standards aligned. It's usually CSDA, but obviously also for this, we have the CCSS and TEKS aligned. The grade levels are there. This is sort of kindergarten to the age of 3. What the learning targets are, there'll be a pre-assessment, the materials you will need, and then the kind of questions that teachers will do. And you go down the lesson and you can lay out your tiles in this grid, or later on, it can also show you how you actually do this on the iPad. We show some examples of how the code would look like, but you're going to make up this code as you go, and you can lay it out in any way.
And the great thing with these, all of our lesson plans, they're just Google Docs. So adapt them and make them your own, and it's pretty handy.
So what we do basically is the teacher would be reading the book, lay out these tiles, and then we ask little questions. You can stop sharing now. Thanks, Bruce. Ask these little questions to our students, and they would say, okay, drive your robot to where it is. So we've got the setup here on the right. I'm going to switch on some KaiBots for us. So Bruce, if you switch over.
And I see we've got Megan from Iowa, welcome, and Janet from Southeast Missouri. I need to look up on the map with some of these places.
Oh, Jana had that great testimonial for us the other day, which was fantastic. Thank you very much.
Abilene, Texas. Hillary, welcome. Okay, so what's next? Maybe we should see what we need to do this lesson. So we're going to switch cameras, and can you pull out one of those cards that you've got, and how have you folded it under the...
Okay, so this is sort of our setup. We've laid it out differently. You can lay it any way, the way you want it. Got the tiles. I've got 3, apple became a butterfly, ate too much Monday, because it's all about storytelling. Huh? That's what we're trying to do. So I just have these little cards, fold them at the bottom, write some. My handwriting's not very well, but
it's better than mine.
But we got it done. It was actually Nikki in the office. She did this handwriting. She should have been a teacher, right? And then all you do is you just put it under the tile. And
so how is it sticking there?
It just sits. These are magnetic tiles, Bruce. Not that this is magnetic, but it just sits underneath the tile.
Magnetic cardboard. Wow, what a great invention.
Okay, right.
I'd never be able to open a book if all the pages were magnetic.
That's true. But I'm sure you'll take it apart and figure it out.
I would.
So what you would do, this is sort of our start point, and I am going to ask a question, and then we're going to code it. So just with KaiBot, obviously you have your start and your end. You can see the brackets, a bit like maths, and something is going to go in between, and then you're going to run your code. Now I've got these 2 little cards as well. Is how do I feel? And we have 2 lots. We can go, how do I feel? I feel, okay, those are all the negative ones. This is my card. You can see we have I'm the happy one, not lonely, and surprised. So we're going to play with these cards as well. And hopefully KaiBot is going to give us a little bit of a jiggle dance when he sees any of these. So,
especially when he eats too much.
I don't think it's going to move too much then. But Bruce, question. Our little butterfly, our little worm, before he became a butterfly. I know you read that book when you're small. That was many, many years ago.
That was a long.
But what day did the caterpillar eat the pear?
I have no idea.
Well, there's maybe a clue on the table, Bruce.
Okay, could it be Apple Day? Because I always like eating apples on Mondays.
But it was
but hey, that's handy because there's a Monday as well.
Yes. Hopefully you have got smarter kids than that. But anyway, let's start. So we've got our robot here. It's going to move forward 1. We need it to turn. Now, when we say turn, it doesn't mean turn and off we go. You have to code it. So we're going to go forward, turn right, and 2 tiles to get to the end.
But why do I need a code or robot to learn literacy?
Why don't you answer it, Mr. Albert Einstein?
I don't know. Can you tell me, Mrs. I don't know. You don't have an owl on your shoulder.
Okay. So we obviously need to learn coding. We don't all need to become programmers. But these days, understanding code is really going to open up doors for these students to be able to get new jobs. We are just in this new world. We are in the 21st century. We need to learn hard skills and soft skills. And, you just need to understand code and then it's going to make your life much, much easier. You know, engineers, we really try to promote the STEAM in it as well, but it's going to open up doors for them when they have to start looking at jobs.
I like to think about coding as kind of like the blood that goes through our body. It's essential. It's in every device. But sometimes, you know, we don't need to know the details of it, but it's a great idea if we know some basic concepts. And I love this, you know, like learning that, learning literacy. It kind of makes it engaging for the kids. For those kids that might not be all, you know, into too much literacy, but you know, they're engaged by the coding, and that gets them into a certain subject.
And it's that hands-on. I mean, we all love reading a book or listening to a story, but how can we actually then apply it and take it forward? How can we get more involved? You know, the kids can make the cards. We can have somebody code. Somebody can say, go left, right, forward, or even walk out the code. You know, especially with those little kindergartens, it's still very important for them to understand what is forward. So if we say we're going to go forward, we need to show them this is a forward card. And obviously forward is the direction we read. So this is not forward, this is going upwards. We read from left to right, and that's what we do. And just a little tip, if you ever see like the little green asterisk, that means you can put a number card. So we're going to start, we're going to put this card down forward, which means I always use my robot to walk it out. I'm going to go forward. Now, left and right. We need to teach the students what it is. Bruce, can you remember left and right?
I sure can. Right is on my right thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But I like what you said earlier about, you know, you can walk it out. Like we could put these cards on a chair. If you don't have KaiBot, you could actually download and print these cards. They are available free on a website. And then you could just use it in a classroom as a resource to get the kids to walk it out and get to each chair in the classroom, kind of thing.
So it can be like playing cards. Obviously, when you start coding, you can't use those cards because that's not where the technology sits. But what we've got here, start, forward, right, forward, to end and run the program. So let's see Mr. Unicorn. See, you've got Mr. Owl, I've got Mr. Unicorn. I think it's Mrs. Unicorn. All you do is you tap it, and on the screen, you will see what command you have just given the robot. So let's see which day did the caterpillar go and eat. And he's off. And you'll see he turns right. And there he goes. Right. And he's all happy. But remember I said I want to use some of those little happy cards. So we're going to pick him up and bring him back. And we're going to try and see, let's see if Bruce has paid any attention. Bruce, how many times did the caterpillar eat the pear?
Well, Renelle, I didn't remember you reading the book to me last night when I was going to bed. So how many times did he eat? He ate it as many times as he needed to eat the whole pear.
Clues. I'm sure I'm going to put you in one of these teachers' classes. Jana, would you like another student? He's not very bright, but very, very intelligent, creating robots.
Albert will help me. Actually,
Okay.
Albert, what's the answer? 3. There we go.
Okay. Now, how are you going to feel if you eat 3 pears all at once and you are your size and this is just a little caterpillar?
One word, satisfied.
Okay. You have got a choice. You have got a choice. Are you going to feel happy, lonely, surprised, angry, sad, or are you going to cry from a sore tummy?
Yeah, I might cry from a sore tummy.
I think so. Okay, so how are we going to code this? Robot's going to go forward. This time we need to turn left.
So where are we going? We're going over to 3.
Yes.
Okay, 3 pairs.
We're going to turn left, so not right anymore.
So forward, left, then So when you go left, does it go left and forward or just the left?
No, just the left.
Okay, so forward, then left on that tile, and then off that tile, forward, forward. I might be thinking too deeply into it.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, so you've got a forward 2. Okay. So yes. Okay, I'm just checking your code right now.
And we go, start, forward. And I lift it up until it goes like red, which means then I can scan the next card. And we're going to be crying. End my program, run it.
So did you just tap the bottom of the card where the crying is?
Yeah, because it's sort of 3 different levels.
It's a little magic robot.
Right, it's not going to be some magic at the end after eating 3 pears.
It'll be a full unicorn. Have you guys got any questions?
Look. Oh, did you see? His tummy was really sore.
Yeah, I saw the tile flooded with tears.
Okay.
Have you got a towel for him?
But this is very basic. So K to 3, and you can see how you can make up, can you switch over? How you can make up all these little ideas, bring the books to life, tell stories, and let the kids just really work and do some fun and interactive things. So for example, we've also got, just to let you know, we've got this little charging dock. And what that means is when the unicorn has eaten too much.
You got the tile on the wrong way around.
Oh, that's also very, very true. There we go. And happiness, he's going to go and sit there and he will then recharge himself. So all these products come in the classroom packs, and we have classroom packs of 5, 10, and 20. With e-resources as well. That's actually, there's a PDF download e-resource very much focusing on maths, and then also some activity books. But coming back, so let's look at some, first we need some questions. Is there anybody that's going to ask us a question? Ashley, have you got, what are your thoughts? You in Memphis. Oh, we love Memphis. Anybody, any questions? No?
Well, it takes time to type questions. Nikki, got any questions? So, you know what, this was a really good activity because it's very screen-free, it's very basic, very easy to get into. So, yeah.
And it's like you said, this is still totally screen-free. And I think this is where, with KaiBot, we really do that scaffolding of learning. And KaiBot is actually, it's probably the sweet spot is K to 5, but then we can also look at 6 to 8 when they go online and they do game-based design.
So that's, thanks for the update there, Ashley. So are you using them for other subjects rather than just coding? So yeah, we can do lots of different subject matters with it.
Awesome. Okay, so let's have a look, Bruce, at some of the other lessons. Obviously, this is my very hungry caterpillar, and there is probably 4 or 5 lessons on the KaiBot lesson plan page that you can then go and see. But let's just look at some of the other lessons that we've got. Bruce,
can be used with. So we've got some questions coming in.
Yes, that's a great question. So you would see on the cards, and the question is, we use it in ELA, which is the obviously for the languages. So our cards at the moment has got Spanish. So obviously English, Spanish, and also Te Reo. So Te Reo is the New Zealand native language in Maori. So we really want to support that. But we are in the process of actually printing cards in Italian and in French. And we will probably put the Spanish separate. So we love listening to what teachers come back and give us some feedback. So what they were saying, to actually use it effectively in that ELA course, we will take Spanish off, and then you can just have Spanish cards. And then you can teach English. Instead of having the mixture, you will just have it sort of for the one one language. Yes, student Bruce.
So that's great. So we're going to have English cards. We're going to have French, Spanish, Italian. Okay.
And we've got Braille. We've got.
Is Braille a language? It is. I mean, I think that's the best language. So we've got a new edition of our Braille cards coming out soon, and some really, we've listened to the feedback from our community, and we've made quite a lot of adjustments to our Braille cards. We've done some corrections on it. And
I think one of the main things was that I think you said you're taking a little corner off. Is that right, Bruce?
Yeah.
To show where's the bottom.
We're taking off the corner.
And some of the brackets.
Changing the packaging and stuff like that. So
yeah,
there's a lot of things. Just on one other thing before we get on to the next lesson, if you do want to, have these coding cards in just as a printed resource for your school, right? You can just go to KaiBot, and if you look for the coding cards, click Learn More, and then if you scroll all the way down the page, and you can download and print these cards. Now, KaiBot cannot scan these cards, but it's a really good resource for doing that.
Yeah.
Amount of pop-ups you've got on your website.
Your website. Layla, you asked if we've got lesson plans for ELA. Sorry, we don't have yet, but we are talking with some teachers. And if you've got any ideas, please share with us. We can work together with you. There can be some incentives. But we would love to, because we love it when teachers share their projects with us. So, once you've got some cards, have a look and let us know how you think it's going to can work really well within a curriculum as well.
Yeah, Layla, we'd love to partner with you if you've got ELA lessons, and we can work together
to amend them to work with KaiBot,
to get them right for your classroom and KaiBot.
Right, next lesson. What have we got? Vowels.
Is this
KaiBot vowel? Yes. Whoa, we're gonna have fun here.
all I see is apples.
Okay, so obviously we've got A, I, O, E, U. Those are vowels, Bruce. We would think you never went to school. Meanwhile, you as this brilliant mind, but I think just some of the A, I, O, E, U you couldn't say too fast this morning. But teachers, it's not all about the coding. Like Bruce was saying, coding is sort of the blood within, and we just use it to enhance. And students don't even realize they're actually learning how to code by just playing these little games. Because for those young students, it is. It's how can we gamify it? How can we make it more fun for them? So these are also really for those kindergarten and first grade students. When we're saying, what is a short vowel? What is a instead of an A, or a instead of an E. So, these are the kind of things you still have those conversations that you would have with the students. So we obviously teach them, that the words contains vowels, and then how can they actually identify those vowels. So, why is it a long vowel? Why is this a short one? And then they can give some examples. And again here, we can ask some questions. You're going a little bit fast. Can you go a little bit back up? Here's some of those SEL questions that we were talking about. I know not everywhere we can talk about SEL, but it's wellness. We want to make sure our students are doing well and asking these questions. How did you feel when your cat ran away? Well, I was very lonely. I was really upset. And I think those kind of questions actually creates more conversation in the classroom as well. Okay, now we can scroll up. So you can lay out your tiles in this kind of, like this grid. You can put cards on them so that they can see. But this is also where you can actually go onto conundrum.com and onto the iPad, and you'll be able to see this in the virtual world.
And we're going to look at that later.
Yes. At the end, we're going to show you the iPad as well. So here, You can say, can you give me, like kit and white? Those are both eyes.
So what you're saying is we're going to get the student to drive to that particular tile.
Yeah.
In that.
So you can say, can you give me a short eye? So it will be kit instead of white or red.
But in your New Zealand accent, that sounds funny.
Okay. I'm not even going to try and change it. Thank you very much. You've got the same accent. So let's move on. Okay. And scroll down. And here the student will ask, the teacher will ask the students to identify those words. And then there's some examples. If the student identifies wet, the teacher will ask, well, how would you feel if someone got your homework wet? I love this conversation that we have when we teach. I think for so many, especially when I was growing up, we all had to learn things like a parrot. And teachers were just telling us it's 1, 2, 3, and we couldn't really give feedback. We just had to learn it off by heart. These days, I think, is so much more interactive. And it's actually, I love the student-led. When they actually come and present, if they say how they feel and what their words is, we are making a much better generation, and we owe that to our children.
I just remember using that as an excuse every time I didn't hand my homework in.
What, it got wet?
My homework is wet.
Okay, there's additional resources, and then you'll see on each of our lesson plan is that conundrum link, which we will share a little bit later. We're going to talk about those. Right, the next lesson. So those are vowels. The next lesson, we are looking at how to build sentences. So very similar, but it just adds a little bit to the curriculum. We need to look at sentences under construction.
I love these little logos on here that show it's screen free and what level it is. And I think that matches up with the website, doesn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So that's a beginner. So beginner, it's also, some kids have never even, they may be K3, they may be grade 3, and they haven't had these fundamentals. So that's why we sort of say it's K3.
So Nikki asked, can you save the lessons? Well, these are just Google Docs. So you can make a copy for yourself. You just make copy, and then you can adjust it to how it works in your classroom. Yeah. But good question. Thank you.
Okay, so obviously there's the standards aligned, your learning targets, your pre-assessment, checking for the understanding that we're going down. And then, we would start looking at, what is a noun? What is a verb? What is an adjective? And I think if you create it and you make more fun and use those words, I think it will have a much longer impression. I mean, I'm just looking at, you were saying this morning, you can't remember those things because it was so boring at the time and you had to learn it.
Yeah.
These days, it's fun. I actually think learning is much more fun, but we have to engage students. And I think this is the #1 problem we're having.
Because my ADHD, and you can kind of tell that a little bit sometimes, I have to kind of do stuff to learn it, to take it in. If I'm just reading, it's quite difficult for me. But if I actually have an action attached to that, then I can, learn much easier.
And I think this is one of the reasons why you actually designed this product, because of the ADHD, because of the blindness. You wanted something that is fully inclusive, that every student. So when, we need to really give some kudos to those special education teachers. But what we're trying to do is get every student the same opportunity. And with KaiBot, it doesn't matter if you're a mainstream or if you're neurodiverse or anything, you can still use KaiBot. And then you can scaffold that learning. You can use it in K1, but trust me, you can go, this is just forward, backwards, left and right. Now we can start adding variables and functions and loops and if statements, all screen free. So there is a lot of learning that you can do up to grade 4, up to grade 5, and then they can actually start creating their own puzzles and mazes and escape rooms. So there's a whole we call it our low floor and high ceiling and wide berth of what we're trying to do. Now, why did we highlight snails, Miss Student Bruce?
I think, you know, just having these these lessons as docs is so powerful, because I might be doing a different lesson and maybe I've done this one already and I can just go and adapt this and change the words in there and use it for something else. So
absolutely, you know, tomorrow the teacher can put other nouns in, or they can do another sort of a curriculum or a subject. Maybe it's about the farm, and then they put words in all around the farm and the animals and the farmer and what they do. So it's very, very easy to then build these lessons. And then you can just say, you know, if it's a noun, then let's start making 2 words. Let's start building these sentences and put them together.
Great. Okay. What's next?
Have we finished going up this lesson? So we show in each lesson, we actually show the cards, sort of the sample. You would see we've got the weight card as well. So that's really good for you to then try and say, okay, well, let's just wait. And what is really good with KaiBot as well is if I make a mistake, you know, if I forget to, say, for instance, do the start card. So if you cross over, Bruce, I'm actually going to show that. So the last time.
What are you showing?
Just if we make a mistake, the bug detection.
Oh, the bug detection. Okay, yeah. But just going back to this weight card, how does this work? Like, so how would we use that in this lesson with our Apple and our Monday?
So you can ask 2 questions. You can say, okay, so what did the caterpillar eat? And how often? How many did it eat?
So what you're saying, when we get to the apple,
wait. So wait is probably about, I think it's about 3 seconds.
No, it's 1 second.
It's 1 second. 1 second.
So how would I add 3 seconds to it?
I can put number 3. There's an asterisk.
Okay.
So then I can put 3 seconds, and then you can say move forward, and it will go to the next one.
Okay. So what you're saying is, we can code 1 sequence to answer 2 questions by going to 2 different destinations and using a wait to pause in between the answer of both questions.
That's right. So it can sort of replace the word and. So this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the wait could be, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
The other thing that we can do, you know, and I know we're sort of looking at K to 3, but I think it's actually really simple. Why don't we look at these cards and we say, you know, can I do it? This is a question for you, Bruce, because you're really good at coding. Can I go and use my if statement, for example? If something didn't happen, can I turn another way?
Well, you could say, if I ate more than 3 pears, then turn left. Otherwise, turn right and eat apples.
Really? How would I do that? This is great. I know it's a variable. Bruce has just given me the look. This is a variable, but I think we can just use a number. I mean, maths is as important as literacy. And I can say, if 5 is greater than 3, turn left and go to the apple.
Yeah, but I think that's you know, this is a very entry level lesson.
Absolutely. But let's just
what
show
you're saying
them.
is
show them.
You've just gone up a few grades here.
So we can use greater, equal, not equal, and there's lesser than as well. It's hiding in there. And not equal. So, you know, we can bring in some maths. And then like Bruce was saying, obviously you can have your if statements. So we've got the if statements, you know, if this, then that, or else. And you do this all with coding cards, with the screen-free coding cards. So you can really scaffold that learning. But okay, I won't test you to do a variable. So I was going to come back and show you. So say, for instance, we've got this card. This was going to drive to 3. And I forget to scan my end card. I got so excited. I just went forward, left, forward, 2, crying, and I'm ready to run. Let's see what happens. Start, forward, turn left, forward, 2, maybe that made me very sad, and I'll run. This is bug alert, missing program end card. So students can start thinking for themselves and working it out. And what we say, it is not just putting it back there and carrying on. It's going to give you another bug alert that's saying, missing program start. So you have to start again.
So Nikki asked a good question. How many students work with each KaiBot? If other teachers in the chat could answer that question for us. But I mean, I kind of know the answer.
Yeah, but
I
it's
wonder
good to hear
what others would say, what they would recommend.
Yeah, especially Jana, you've been using it. You're using it with pre-service teachers. You know, I know you've just bought all those 5 packs, which is fantastic. But you know, I think it also just vary. But with students, some schools, they want every student to have their own one. And some ones work in groups. What does Jana say? I would use it in partners. Yes. That's exactly, and that is building that partnership and working together and building on those skills as well. So certainly we say with KaiBot, definitely I would go in partners, in pairs.
Okay, so we've got, I think we've got about, what have we got?
Five
no, we've got 10 minutes actually. Start 5 minutes early. Okay, so I think what we can do now is we've done it screen free, right? On our lesson, so let's just do a share screen again.
We're going to show them the virtual world now.
Yeah, on our lessons, you'll find that some of the lessons have this link to conundrum.com. But what you can do is if you go there and share it, you can get a share QR code, and we'll try and add these to all of our lessons, this share code. And if we scroll up, it says here, using your iPad, download Conundrum Lite in the App Store, pair your robot, click Load Project, and scan the project QR code. So what we're saying is what it's going to end up to be is this lesson looks kind of like this in the virtual world. So yeah, okay, so let's do that. I'm going to stop sharing so we can get a better screen. So Renal, do you want to pair a robot?
Okay, so we've got Conundrum Lite. That's a free app that you can just download. And that's sort of your little companion app. What you do, choose your little character. I will put monkey for Bruce, and breed, but I'll make a monkey fur. Very clever.
I've got an owl. He's not a monkey.
Okay, I press forward and I look on the robot. There's a number. This one is 3476. Whoop, whoop, we're there. Okay, now Bruce, next step.
Okay, so load project.
Load project.
And it says load new levels.
Yep, I click on that.
Right, it's got a QR scanner, and I'm going to show you this on the page. So you got your finger over the camera. Okay, so if you go back, now you can see the level is loaded, the hungry caterpillar. Now, what I really, before you go on, what I really love about this, is we can use the older kids in the school to design games for the younger kids to solve.
Absolutely.
You know, so you've got that project, you know,
within
that
the whole
prototyping.
School, yes, within the whole school, everybody gets, you know, they do game-based learning that older kids and the young ones try them out. And I think it is such a nice peer-to-peer, you know, or students just working together.
Yeah, that whole collaboration between peers is fantastic. Now, I'm just going to, before we carry on, one could be in charge of the cards and the other could be the tester. I love that, Hillary. And even what I do like is without the physical KaiBot and just the coding cards, having one student as the programmer or the coder and the other student acting as the robot. And then they have to program, you know, the coder has to program, walk it out and find the bugs, you know, bump into a chair and go, oh, well, I can't move forward there. There's something in front of me.
My students sometimes work in groups of 4, partners of individually. It just depends on the lesson. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay.
And Jana, you definitely need a card sorter, especially when you get a lot of cards in there. Okay, where were we? Here we go. So back to the iPad. So we scan the QR code that was on the lesson. If the QR code's not on the lesson, there is a link to conundrum.com, which is our full-blown coding platform, which is absolutely free. And if you go into projects there, you can click on share, that little middle 3-dotty icon thing, and click that, and it's going to show you this QR code. You're going to scan it. It's going to download to the kids' iPads and gives you an update of what it is. If you click the download icon, Ronelle, that's going to grab it from the internet, and it's going to ask you, what is your lowest tile number?
So if I go 1, because that is my tile number here, I go. Now, if you've got lots of tiles, this is all really good. So these tiles come up to packs of 60. You can then go and build it. So you have to lay it out exactly the same as this. It's like building a house. It's sort of your building plans. You lay out all your tiles. You go, okay, I'm just going to go for argument's sake now, say done.
And you also, instead of like Janice said, you need a card sorter. Now we need another student as a tile sorter.
That's right. We go done. Then we've got these handy dandy charging docks. I'm just going to say we're putting it on there. Done. And now you're going to see here is, and I have to apologize. This was my writing. I should have had Nikki write it. So it lays this out. I then click objective. Tells you what to do. Bruce holds it still.
And we can change the view to a top view. There we go. And then we can zoom into that view. So you can see it looks like we had a kindergarten student write this.
So they can do that when they design a lesson. They can write on the virtual tiles. So now you can start and drive to it instead of just, you know, and if you lay this out and your robot is paired, you will see your physical robot driving on your tiles, and in the same time, it's going to drive in the virtual world. Any questions coming back? We're just about to finish the session. These sessions are going to happen every month, and we will go through different levels, and we're going to alternate. 1 month will be KaiBot and 1 will be Kai's Clan. So we did a Kai's Clan one last time, and it will all be on our YouTube as well, but we will send out the link. And if you, I know you're tired, I know, just nearly night time, just hang on. And then we will share the link with you. But please, we really want to, we've got these Facebook groups, please join them, please share your ideas. Ashley, I think it was Ashley. Yeah, Ashley, we would love to talk to you. Was it Ashley that was talking about the ELA?
No.
Oh, it was Layla.
Layla,
we really would like to get in touch with you. If you can maybe email me and sort of see what you've done up to now with ELA programs and lessons, and we can see how we can adapt them to include coding and KaiBot.
Now, with Albert over here has asked me a question. Would love you to take a screenshot of us with KaiBot, and if you could grab that screenshot and put it on your socials and share it out, please.
He's like, I never said that.
He did. He told me he did.
Yeah, so please share. If you liked it. If you don't like it, please let us know why you don't like it, and we'll make some changes. If you think I should leave Bruce off the next webinar, please let me know. Or if I talk too much, please let us know. We would love your feedback and build this community. So thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If any of you are around Florida area where the hurricane is coming through, please take care and stay safe. So as we say in New Zealand, ka kite.
Goodbye.